Hello and welcome to this Transforming Learning Fife pedagogy video on Stylus, using your Skriva Stylus for colour-coded feedback through showbie. Feedback plays an important role in helping learners understand their strengths and identify areas for improvement. Many schools use colour-coded feedback approaches to provide consistency and clarity. Colours and approaches may vary between schools and settings. Using a stylus and digital ink allows teachers to apply this feedback quickly and clearly across a range of digital documents. The task that we're going to look at comes from a science lesson where the learners had the learning intention of learning to explain how physical activity contributes to a healthy lifestyle. Their task was to create a poster which explains why exercise is important. Now, obviously there would have been more teaching to that than this. This is just a little example of what we're doing. This is the example of the learner's task, or the work that the learner has uploaded to showbie. Obviously, lots of different ways that different schools would use different colours. For our example of using colour coding, what we're going to do is we're going to have green showing the successes that the learner has had, so highlighting the strengths, and pink we're going to use to identify the next steps. So let's begin by identifying what the learner has done well. Using green digital ink, I'm going to use the highlighter just now. So by clicking on the highlighter tool and then the colour green, I can highlight evidence of success within the work and explain why it's effective. So for example, the learner has written, it helps the heart work better and improve fitness over here. So I can highlight this section with my Skriva Stylus and I can annotate beside it. So I'm going to change from the highlighter to the pencil tool. And again, I'm going to make that green just because it fits within what we're going to do with this, with the colours for this particular school. I could put good use of scientific knowledge, because it's a science lesson that we're looking at. To explain the benefits of exercise. One plus with using showbie as well is that the learner has been able to upload this to their showbie, so you're not then writing on just their work. They'll still have the copy of this and they'll be able to keep it neat without your work, but there is still a record of the marking and the feedback that you've given. This, by highlighting the strengths, this helps learners to recognise successful aspects of their work and understand what they should do or what they should continue to do in future tasks. So feedback also provides opportunities for improvement. Again, within this particular school, we are going to be using pink as our tool to identify the next step. So I'm going to change my highlighter again to pink. And using pink digital ink, I can identify a specific area for development, so their next step. For example, the learner has written here, people should try to exercise regularly. It is a valid point, but it could be developed further. So I might highlight this rather than highlighting the whole thing in pink because it's not wrong. I might want to just do a little underline here and a wee annotation and just say, oh, I need to change to the pink pen. I might want to just annotate, can you explain why regular exercise is more beneficial than occasional exercise. Notice that I've I've framed the next step as a question. This would encourage learners to think more deeply about their response and promotes greater ownership of the improvement process. And with using showbie, what the learner can actually do is the learner can come onto that and can record a voice note of them answering that question, which really keeps the writing, the work really interactive and works better for the child's learner. So colour-coded feedback helps learners quickly distinguish between strengths and areas for development. The visual nature of digital ink makes feedback more accessible and easier to navigate, particularly when reviewing longer pieces of work. When combined with questioning, colour-coded feedback can encourage reflection, support metacognition, and help learners understand how to improve their work independently. Because the annotations are digital, they can also be saved, revisited, and shared as part of an ongoing learning conversation.